You've had many instances, incarnations outside of this life, but also within this life. We spoke a little bit about time tracks last Friday morning when we were doing spirit guidance, and made me realize there are probably multiple aspects of time tracks. Within this life, we spoke about the time track splits that we can have where we get to a decision point where, it's not just about whether you have Wheaties or chocolate biscuits for breakfast, though. It's a little bit more than that. And there are obviously decision points. They're things that we planned before we came here. They're things that happen that knock us, I guess you could say, knock us off trajectory. And it's my belief that at those points, with emotion and the action that occurs, we we can have a split off our time track, which means at some stage you're going to want to come and have a healing session to clear that, or do some personal work and clear that situation that happened. But what it really is at that point in time, you were kind of split off. You had your plan, your original time track, and you were split off to another time track. Now, it's my belief that both those time tracks actually exist contemporaneously. And as these things come along, we get more and more splits, like the branches of a tree. And we can end up over this side of the tree when we really should have been in the middle here, which I guess the middle is the kind of place where you really wanted to be. And and so there can be parallel versions of this lifetime. Okay. But there's more depth, really. Because within this cycle of time, within this cycle, you've had many, many incarnations, past lives, we call them. But you've also had future lives. Some of those may not even be human. Okay, so if we think about the octaves up to human, what could the next octave be? Maybe in some ways, maybe that's where what we call higher self sits. Maybe. I don't know. Or maybe, as a lot of people believe, human is the epitome. Of course we are. That's what ego is all about, isn't it? So yeah, when I have taken people back to the past life that they had immediately before they became human, it's really interesting. The characteristics of that past life actually exist within that person's physiology or psychology. But what about other cycles of time? The cycles of time that you had, those of you that have joined me in the Lemurian Fellowship, how many incarnations did you have in that cycle of time? You didn't just have one lifetime in Lemuria. No, you had many, perhaps beyond count, as per in this life, in this cycle, perhaps beyond count. So if you had many, many lifetimes in Lemuria, what about lifetimes you had in other cycles of time? These are all time tracks, aren't they? What about the cycle of time when there was the sort of magic that we dream of that Tolkien brought forward, a cycle of time with elves and hobbits and things like that? These things, they so ring true to you, don't they, sometimes? I'm going to drop a clanger here. What about reptilians? Who knows about reptilians? Give me a wave if you know about reptilians. Okay, almost everyone here knows about reptilians. Those evil suckers, hey, bad reptilians. Well, guess what? That was a cycle of time. And guess what? You were there. Let that sink in a little bit. You were there. Yeah. I mean, spirit has to progress through these cycles of time. What is there to learn in this cycle of time? I believe it's free will. What was there to learn in Lemuria? Unconditional love. What was there to learn in Middle Earth? I don't know. It was just for fun. What was there to learn in the reptilian cycle of time? Overcoming, overcoming the reptilian urge, getting to a higher mind.